Today we are going to discuss current affairs part 3. From this session onwards, I'm not only going to give current affairs for prelims, but also some analysis to be made for mains exam, particularly from the current affairs in the recent past. And in future, I would like to give some analysis in Hindu paper, editorials and lead articles, and articles from various newspapers, important articles, in separate sessions with separate titles. So the first thing which is important, I feel, is this time Global Innovation Index. Global Innovation Index. Initially, when it was launched, India's position is very bad. But from last 2-3 years, India is faring reasonably good in Global Innovation Index. India continued to rise in the Global Innovation Index. Its rankings for the second year in succession have improved. After 4 years of continuous decline, last year it was improved and this year also it was improved after 4 years of continuous decline. Last year, it had improved from 81 to 66. Last year in 2016, in Global Innovation Index, India has improved from 81 to 66. In 2017, that is this year, India has improved its position from 66 to 60. In 2017, this year, India has improved its position from 66 to 60. So this year, in Global Innovation Index, India's ranking is 60. The GII, Global Innovation Index, was first developed 10 years ago by the business school INSEAD. INSEAD. INSEAD, a business school, 10 years ago developed Global Innovation Index in Paris to benchmark countries and their innovative practices. Practices and capacities. It is now Global Innovation Index is now jointly developed and executed by INSEAD and Cornell University. More importantly, WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. INSEAD, Cornell University and World Intellectual Property Organization. Switzerland, from last 7 years, topped Global Innovation Index. From last 7 years, Switzerland topped Global Innovation Index. From last 10 years, India is in roller coaster, means sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes top, sometimes bottom. India continued to be in the roller coaster. The Global Innovation Index has been taken seriously by several governments around the world, including India. So the Innovation Index is very serious. Governments take it very seriously because it's a way of benchmarking national competitiveness. Global Innovation Index. So this is a very important thing. Whenever new index comes, in last sessions we have discussed healthcare index, we have discussed press freedom index, we have discussed global competitiveness index. Apart from these 3 indexes, Global Innovation Index is also equally important for the exam. And next, this year, from last 10 days, 1 week, we are seeing the announcements of Nobel Prizes. Nobel Prizes, as you all know, are the most important prestigious prizes in the world. Generally, Nobel Prizes will not be given posthumously. Nobel Prizes will be given to the living persons, not to the dead persons. You have to remember this fact. Generally, Nobel Prizes will be given only to the living persons. UPSC has a tinge towards Nobel Prizes. But the thing is, UPSC will never ask, generally from last 10 years it is not asking who got the Nobel Prize. But it is focusing on the meaning of the prize and for which purpose it was given. the purpose and the for which achievement it was given, not the name of the person. Name of the person you may forget sometimes, but remember the purpose for which the prize was given and the objective based on which the prize was given and the achievement of the winner of the prize. That is important than the Nobel Prize. For example, if you see Nobel Prize in Physics 2017, Rainer Weiss, RAINER Weiss, Barry C. Barish, BARRY Barry, C full stop BARISH, and Kip S. Thorne, KIP Kip, S full stop THORNE. These three people got Nobel Prize in Physics in 2017. They got this prize for decisive contributions in the LIGO detector and the observation of gravitational waves. For decisive contributions in the LIGO detector and for observation of gravitational waves. LIGO, Laser Interferometer Gravitational Observatory, and gravitational waves. From last 2 years, the idea of gravitational waves is very important for exam. Already in 2016, in prelims, the question is asked. And you may get the question again in 2018. Mains are prelims 17 and 18. So, more than the names of the people, you should remember the theme called gravitational waves. 2017 Nobel Physics Prize have come to the persons who done some research on gravitational waves. And you should also do some work on gravitational waves. As you all know, gravitational waves are the ripples created in the space, observed in the space. And for gravitational waves, directly go to NASA website. What all is, there is a page in NASA website on gravitational waves. If you remember the page, that is enough for gravitational waves. And Einstein's theory of relativity, everything, you can read it in NASA's gravitational waves page and completely you can remember that. Even in mains answers, NASA's website is very important for gravitational waves. And in the same way, Nobel Prize in Chemistry 2017, this is also equally important. Nobel Prize in Chemistry 2017. Jacques Dubochet, JACQUES, Jacques Dubochet, DEBOCHET. So one person. Joachim Frank, JOACHIM, Joachim, FRANK, Frank, and Richard Henderson, RICHARD, Richard, HENDERSON. These three people got Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2017. Again, why they got it is very important. Why they got it is very important. For developing cryo-electronic microscopy. For developing cryo-electronic microscopy for the high resolution structure determination of biomolecules in solution. You just remember, developing cryo-electronic microscopy. Developing cryo-electronic microscopy for the high resolution structure determination of biomolecules in solution. These things you should remember. Cryomicroscopy and high resolution structure, biomolecule in solution. In chemistry, this is important. In chemistry, this is important. This is electronic structures. And now you should remember Nobel Prize in Physics. That's in peace. Nobel Peace Prize is very crucial every year, which will be announced by Nobel authorities. I do remember in 2005, IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, in 2005, along with its Director General El Baradi, got Nobel Peace Prize. In the same way, International Convention on Chemical Weapons also got Nobel Peace Prize. Nobel authorities sometimes are selecting the institutions which are working for peace, particularly in the world day by day becoming nuclear, and nuclear issues are coming into main fore. Giving Nobel Peace Prize for ICAN this year, 2017 Nobel Peace Prize went for ICAN, International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons. In ICAN, ICAN, International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, ICAN. This is very important current affair this year. So ICAN, International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons. This ICAN is not a single organization. It's a coalition of more than 100 NGOs. It's a coalition of more than 100 NGOs. ICAN was Nobel Peace Prize 2017 for its work to draw attention to the catastrophic humanitarian consequences of any use of nuclear weapons. Catastrophic humanitarian consequences of any use of nuclear weapons, and for its groundbreaking efforts to achieve a treaty-based prohibition of such weapons. See, it is working to stop the proliferation of weapons, which produces catastrophic humanitarian consequences, and also for its groundbreaking efforts to achieve a treaty-based prohibition of such weapons. It's very important. ICAN is very important for 2017 mains and mainly 2018 prelims. And Nobel Prize for Literature 2017. Nobel Prize for Literature 2017. Kazuo Ishiguro. KAZUO. Kazuo Ishiguro. 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 Kazuo Ishiguro got Nobel Prize in Literature 2017. He, who is in his novels showed great emotional force, has uncovered the abyss beneath our illusory sense of connection with the world. Has uncovered the abyss beneath our illusory sense of connection with the world. So Nobel Prize in Literature 2017 went for Kazuo Ishiguro for his emotional force in his literature, who has uncovered many things under our illusory sense of connection with the world. See, very conventional writer, he got Nobel Prize in Literature. And Nobel Prize in Medicine or Physiology, as you all know, got by 3 people: Jeffrey Hall, Michael Rosbash, Michael Eng. 3 people: Jeffrey, Jeffrey, Jeffrey Hall, Michael Rosbash, Michael Eng. These 3 people got Nobel Prize in Medicine or Physiology. They got it for the research in circadian rhythm. Circadian, CARCADIAN, circadian rhythm, very important. Human biological clock. How auto-suggestions work in human life. When you wake up morning at 6 o'clock with an alarm for 1 week, in the 8th day, automatically you will get alert, even without alarm. See, human body will get accustomed for the atmosphere with the nature. Generally, we think that why you should sleep in the night, why you should wake up in the morning, why you should eat food in the particular time. All these things, everything has a reason. Nature has a connection with humankind. This research has done by Hall, Rosbash and Eng, and this is called circadian rhythm, and they got Nobel Prize in Physiology. So these are all the important things in Nobel Prizes. And next important thing, this week many issues have come into force. Vijay Mallya has again arrested in London and got a bail. Vijay Mallya got again arrested in London and he got a bail. So NPS is the all-time important question from last 1 year. It may appear in this year prelims and mains also coming times. Non-performing assets. NPA means non-performing asset. A loan account in a bank is an asset to the bank, because banking business runs with loans and deposits. Bank will accept deposits and give loans. The difference rate of interest between loans and deposits is the profit of the bank. If you deposit some money, it will give 7%, 8%. If you take loan, it will give 14%. It will charge 14%, 15% interest. The difference between deposit interest and lending interest is the profit of the bank. And if you take loan from the bank, the account is called an asset to the bank, because every month you pay principal and interest. It's a profit to the bank. But once taking the loan, if you don't repay it, the asset will become non-performing. After taking the loan, if you don't repay it properly in the regular installments, the asset will become non-performing. This is called non-performing asset. For consecutive 90 days, for continuous 90 days, if you don't pay interest or principal amount in a particular account, it is called an NPA. There are three types of NPAs: substandard, doubtful, and loss. There are three types of non-performing assets: substandard, doubtful, and loss. So, more than 90 days, if nothing is paid, it is considered as NPA. From 90 days to 1 year, it is called a substandard account. After 90 days, it is considered as NPA. From 90 days to 1 year, it is called substandard account. After that, after 1 year, it is called doubtful account. When the loan is written off, the account is written off, it is called a loss account. So NPAs are basically divided into substandard, doubtful, and loss. So to resolve the problem of NPAs, till 1993, the only way out is to approach the civil court. Banks have no other recourse apart from approaching the civil court. As you all know, if you file a case in civil court, it may take minimum 5 years to 10 years, sometimes generations. So banks almost have to lose the hope on the loan accounts. Then in 1993, government, in order to expeditiously process the NPA issues, to resolve the NPA issues, passed an act called, the Parliament of India passed an act called RDDBFI Act. RDDBFI Act, Recovery of Debts Due to Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 1993. Through this act, debts recovery tribunals were constituted. Through RDDBFI Act 1993, debts recovery tribunals were constituted. And debts recovery tribunals are meant for expeditious adjudication of NPA cases. But in spite of that, NPAs grew. In 2002, SURFACE Act was passed by the Parliament. In 2002, SURFACE Act was passed by the Parliament. Securitization and Asset Reconstruction and Enforcement of Security Interest Act. SURFACE means Securitization and Asset Reconstruction and Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002. Through this act, banks can directly go and sell the property of the borrower with the permission of CMM Court, Chief Metropolitan Magistrate Court, without approaching the DRT. If the property is mortgaged, the banks can directly auction it with the permission of CMM. Banks need not approach DRT for this. And ARCs, Asset Reconstruction Companies, were also constituted under SURFACE Act. ARCs, Asset Reconstruction Companies, were also constituted under SURFACE Act 2002. ARCs are completely in the beginning by the private. Recently, there was an amendment to recovery laws, SURFACE Act and RDDBFI Act. Regulation was made it came under RBI, and RBI have a major say in the recent amendments to ARCs under SURFACE Act also. Apart from that, in 2016, to solve the problem of NPAs, Bankruptcy Insolvency Code was passed. Bankruptcy Insolvency Code. This code made the bankruptcy laws very strict, and also bankruptcy insolvency professionals, IPs, insolvency professionals, insolvency professional agencies, and insolvency professional services. All these things were constituted under this. Not only that, Bankruptcy Insolvency Board was created, and government is contemplating to create bankruptcy insolvency fund. In spite of all these things, NPAs are growing in India. Here you should understand a point. There's a difference between stressed account and NPA. When for 90 consecutive days, if the principal amount or interest amount has not been paid, it is called NPA. But for example, you have taken a car loan. Every month you have to pay 10,000 rupees. This month you have paid 5,000. Next month you have paid 8,000. Next month you have paid 12,000. When the account is not certain, when the loan repayment is not certain, but which cannot completely come under NPA, it is called stressed account. Generally, all NPS comes under stressed accounts. Stressed accounts will be more than NPS, non-performing assets. And the biggest problem which the banking sector is facing in India today is NPA problem. So from Vijay Mallya issue to NPA issue, you have to read what is RTDBF Act, what is SURFACE Act, what is Asset Reconstruction Company, what are the various schemes of the government, and what is recent bankruptcy insolvency code, and more importantly, in the present economic survey, there was a discussion about an institution called PARA, P-A-R-A, also called as bad bank, Public Sector Asset Rehabilitation Agency, PARA. Government is under consideration. Government is considering to create PARA, P-A-R-A. That is also an important question for this year mains and next year prelims. PARA, PARA, for recovery of NPS. It's considered as bad bank. You have to read about that. These are all the things which are very crucial for the exam. And next important thing is, apart from this, recently there's an article in Hindu paper about states conducting diplomacy with the countries. States conducting diplomacy with the countries. From last 1 year, a topic called para-diplomacy, P-A-R-A, para-diplomacy. Para-diplomacy is a new buzzword in international relations. Para-diplomacy is a new buzzword in international relations. Para-diplomacy means a very big country coming and doing friendship diplomacy, running friendship with a small unit, small province, or small province having a very big relationship with a big country, like Kerala having a relationship with UAE, like Andhra Pradesh having a relationship with Singapore, like China having a relationship with Telangana. Even Canada, in some provinces, the provinces are allowed to have their own external affairs ministries. In India, foreign affairs, external affairs is in central list. External affairs ministry we find only in the central government, not in the state governments. But after it, we are observing states in India are running their diplomacies with the countries also. Recently, Sharjah ruler visited Kerala and have given many promises to Kerala government, including release of all Keralites who are in jails in UAE and also giving them some work. So that shows in India, states are progressive in running the para-diplomacy. So you have to remember this word para, P-R-A, para-diplomacy, and you should also connect this for mains. In IR, GS paper 2 in mains, you may get. In India, states right now like Gujarat, like Tamil Nadu, like West Bengal, like Kerala, like Andhra Pradesh, they are playing a great role in running the diplomacy with other countries. What is good and bad of it? Sometimes, if you observe, in Tamil Nadu, there was an issue like Tamil Nadu state will give a major role for the, it takes a lead in deciding Tamilian issues in Sri Lanka. Sometimes center has to listen to the Tamil Nadu government. In the same way, if you go to West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee have become a very big, she has taken a very big lead in Teesta water issue. And when Manmohan Singh went to sign Teesta River agreement, she stopped it. So states are playing a deciding role in dealing with other countries also in India. Whether it is good or bad, positively and negatively, you have to analyze and write the answer. So again, within 2-3 days, I'll give current affairs part 4. And we keep on going with current affairs for the next 6 months. Thank you.